Welcome to Caleb's Basketball Pod. Here we go. A ton has happened since we last spoke, which was just earlier this week. I'm going to get to the LaMelo to the Wolves trade in just a minute, but I want to start with the draft. I don't think there was any surprises. We saw AJ Debinza go number 1, Peterson 2, Boozer 3. Pretty well thought out, kind of went how most people figured. Nothing huge there. And there's nothing wrong with that. You kind of knew who the big players were. I do like A-Cup going to Sacramento. I believe that's a big pickup there. Bruce Fortin went to Houston, all-time leading scorer at Ohio State. Be very interesting to see if he cracks for rotation and maybe get some regular season minutes. I mean, we know he can put the ball in the basket. So that'll be interesting to see. But yeah, nothing too shocking. 29 of the 30 picks in the second round were traded and moved. So that's interesting, and it just shows people's on the lookout. You never know when that diamond in the rough may come up. We've had 2 second round picks be finals MVPs in recent years, those being Jokic and Jalen Brunson. So, I mean, you never know who you find in that second round. You could be finding the next finals MVP there eventually down the line, and it may not even be for you. You may have found the finals MVP for someone else down the line, which we saw with Jalen Brunson. He was not drafted by the New York Knicks, but he was their finals MVP. Couple other things. Let's touch on some of these signings we've heard about, some of these re-ups. Austin Reeves got paid, rightfully so, well-deserved. We see Detroit's looking to keep Jalen Dolan, which we all kind of figured that. Be interesting to see where LeBron fits in with the Lakers, with Austin Reeves' big contract re-up. I mean, you could, but you're going into that second apron if you re-up LeBron too at the high price. And I don't know how much the Lakers want to pay for the same team, because remember, they also have Rudy Hachimura out in the free agency pool too. So you want to re-up him. You don't want to run it back with the same team, because I don't believe you're winning with that same team. We know they're lacking that big. We know they're lacking shooting. And I don't think that's what they want to do. So it'll be interesting to see where that goes. Detroit, speaking of the Pistons, as I was a moment ago, they also got Isaiah Joe from the Oklahoma City Thunder for 2 second-round picks. I love that move. Underrated pickup. We know Detroit lacks shooting, especially in the playoffs in that second-round series against Cleveland. Well, Isaiah Joe can fill it up from deep, so I love that move, and you got them for like 2 second-round picks. I love that move. Big move by Detroit right there. And we know they're not done making moves yet. Let's talk about the trade everybody's talking about. Let's talk about Naz Reid going to Charlotte with some draft picks, of course, first-round draft picks, pick swaps, which nothing too bad for the Wolves losing draft-wise if it's a pick swap. But we know LaMelo and Josh Green are going back to the Minnesota Timberwolves. Let's start with Charlotte. A lot of people are saying it looks like they're jumping in rebuild with these picks, but they're not. Because afterwards, we saw them announce that Kobe White will be re-upped on a pretty decent contract, 3 years, $72 million. He's getting a nice chunk of change there. Their starting lineup's looking like it's going to be Kobe White, Con Canippo, Brandon Miller, Miles Bridges, and Naz Reid. I like that starting lineup, and I like it even better being in the East. That could be a 4th or 5th seed, maybe. And, of course, we have to see how Miami fills out their roster. We have to see how Cleveland rounds things out, how Indiana comes back with Tyrese Halliburton. See how what goes on with Boston and Jaylen Brown. But Boston looking for 4 first-round picks for Jaylen Brown. Does that mean you're going in a rebuild? Because you're not getting a championship-caliber player and 4 first-round draft picks for him. That's not happening. You'll get maybe a first-round draft pick and a possible championship caliber. You may just get a 1-for-1, but you ain't getting 4 and a championship caliber player. So is Boston going in a rebuild? We have to see how that pans out. We have to see if they are, what happened. We feel they would keep Tatum, but what would happen with Derek White and, of course, Peyton Pritchard and other guys on their roster like that if they are going into a rebuild. So that'll be very interesting to see. We also heard, speaking of the Celtics, that Jason Tatum gave his permission to trade Jaylen Brown. So I'm not sure exactly what's going on there, but those two superstars are not seeing eye to eye at this moment for the Celtics, and that's not a good thing for them. So if you keep Jaylen Brown around, you wonder how that on-court chemistry is going to be. But back to Charlotte. I like that starting lineup. We know they have some younger players on the bench. Interested to see how they do fill out their roster. Interested to also see if they keep Colin Sexton as a backup point guard. And I mean, I don't think they're championship caliber, Charlotte, but I do think they can make waves and give some real competition to some teams out east. I think a Forster second round series against Detroit would be a lot of fun with the Charlotte Hornets. We know there's some beef there, so I think that would be a very interesting series. Now let's go flip side. Let's go Minnesota. I love this move for the Wolves. They needed someone that wasn't Anthony Edwards to start doing some of the getting players involved. We know Anthony Edwards gets to a point where he's going to score. He's going to ISO. He's going to score on anyone in front of him. But that only goes so far in the league, and he's not setting teammates up. So now you have LaMelo set teammates up. LaMelo's shot selection, of course, that has to be a lot better. But he has to learn how to play on a winning team, not a losing team. So I'm sure he'll get there. But then just in general, like the dynamic backcourt of Anthony Edwards and LaMelo Ball, that's going to be a blast to watch. Anytime the Wolves are on television, ABC, ESPN, Peacock, I mean, Prime, whatever, like, book me, I'm watching it. Because that team is going to be a blast to watch play basketball. Then you have to think possibly when Rudy Gobert goes to the bench, you're going to see a really fast-paced Minnesota Timberwolves squad. And maybe, like, you have the length to, like, play fast and still lock some guys down. I really can't wait to see the Wolves play, but it will be interesting to see how they will place Naz Reid as their backup big. Because Naz Reid, former Sixth Man of the Year, huge for the Wolves. So, of course, you got your guy, your next in line to Anthony Edwards. You got another player that can be him on your team, but you lost a big, and you really don't have a lot of quality talent bigs, and you have no bigs that can hit threes now on your roster. So, be interesting to see how the Wolves fill out their roster too, which is why I don't want to spend too much time talking about where I think Charlotte or Minnesota will land, or Miami, because at that point we have to see how they fill out their roster. But I do love that the NBA is getting very interesting, and I think the next time I come back to you guys, this is just a little short of what's been going on. Next time I come back to you guys, I believe we're going to have way more headlines, more trades, and more fun, and maybe even some shocking, unbelievable headlines, and that's the fun of this point of the NBA offseason. Thank you guys for watching.